welcome back to ApSingh Gaming. In this video, we are diving into one of my favorite and most chaotic PvE builds, the Ardent Firestorm, I would call it. If you've been looking for a build that combines the sustained damage of an LMG with the explosive power of status effects, without using these skills, you've come to the right place. The core of this build is the Iron Lung exotic LMG and its unique talent, which is Ardent. You guys know I love challenge, and that means I'm always running open world activities with at least 4 directives on, and I do the same for missions whenever possible. Keeping that in mind, in this video I'll show you exactly how to put this build together, from the gear and talents to the best way to play it, where you should play it. So let's dive into it. Now I will show you control points, heroic and legendary missions which I did with this weapon and build. Now, Iron Lung, the star of the show, is the Iron Lung exotic LMG. Its talent ardent causes the gun to heat up as you fire, and once the heat meter is full, every round will ignite your enemies. This is an incredible source of constant burn status damage. Next is Lexington. I've got Lexington equipped, which I have rolled with the fantastic killer attribute, as you can see here. Also, it will be good to run a weapon that benefits from your gear set. So if you don't have Lexington, any powerful rifle will do just fine. For sidearm, I'm using double barrel sawed off. I keep it because enemy fears this weapon. It's a pure damage. Anyways, you can use this any sidearm you like, not a problem. And moving on to the build. Oh, so the mask is electric brand set with the 13% status effects. Core attribute 15% weapon damage, and other attributes include 9% status effects. You can improve this. I have 5% critical hit chance. You can improve this to 6, and critical hit damage as attachment. And moving on to the backpack, I have the named backpack, the Courier of Headsburg Guard brand, and the brand set is headshot damage, which is 13%. Core attribute includes 153k armor, and other attributes are critical hit damage, headshot damage, and critical hit damage 2 times. So the main talent here is the perfect creeping death. When you apply a status effect, it is also applied to all enemies within 10 meter of your target. Cooldown is 10 seconds. So this is one of the core talents, I would say, on which this build is made. Next is the chest piece, Seska Weobra, with the brand set of 8% critical hit chance. Core attributes include 15% weapon damage, and I also have expertise level till 12% for armor. And other attributes include armor regen, critical hit damage, and critical hit chance. And the talent which I'm using is Obliterate. Obviously, Obliterate is something. Who doesn't know about this talent, right? I don't have to tell you what it does. Everybody can buy for this talent. And for gloves, I'm using Contractors named brand set, which is Petros Defense Group, with a brand set talent of 10% LMG damage, and Iron Lung uses that talent. Core attributes include 15% weapon damage. I also have expertise level of 12 on this contractor's gloves, and the attribute which is multiplicative damage to armor, and critical hit chance. Holster I have is Golan gear, which gives us a brand set of 10% status effects. Core attributes include 122k armor, which you can improve, I'm sure, and you can improve the proficiency level also. I did not. In attributes, I have critical hit chance 4.5%, which you can improve, and I will also improve later, and also 10% status effects. In the knee pads, we have Fox Prayers named knee pads for Overlord armaments, which has brand set of 10% rifle damage. This is the reason I was saying if you can use rifle with this build, it will be good. And core attribute includes weapon damage. I also have expertise level till 12% for armor. And the multiplicative attribute of this holster is damage to target out of cover, which boosts the damage. And also I have put in 10% more status effects. Moving on to stats, which give us the overall summary of the numbers. And apart from these talents, 119k weapon damage. Critical hard chance is 54.5%, which is decent enough. I would say good enough. for this build, and a critical hit damage of 112.4%, which is also good enough. Headshot damage is 105%, which includes two attributes which give us 20% headshot damage. I would, if I could, I would change one of the attributes to something else, like critical hit damage or critical hit chance or something else, as per your choice. And we get additive light LMG damage, also rifle damage, 4925 armor regen, one of the attributes, and the rest is default. Moving on to skills. You will notice I am skipping the typical crowd control skills for this build because I am using decoy and reviver hive. The core idea here is to let our weapon do the work by triggering status effects directly. This frees up our skill slots for other abilities that will give us an extra edge in the combat. For example, if I am injured or dead, Reviver Hive activates, right? Then after some seconds of cooldown, my decoy is ready to give me another lease of life, so I can use it when I need it to survive. So this build is all about sustained pressure. You will want to pre-fire with your LMG to build up the heat meter and then keep firing to keep enemies ignited, and then status level effects will do the rest. This build is a blast to play and turns you into damage dealing, crowd controlling monster. Try it out and let me know what you think in the comments below. This build is ideal for PvE, heroic open world activities with 4 directives. As you know, I always play with 4 directives. You can play heroic missions, you can play legendary missions also. It's good for legendary missions also. A little bit of support of other players as well. And for rating, I will rate this build 7 out of 10 because only thing special in this build is crowd control activities which you get. And in addition to crowd control activities, you get full damage numbers also. And let me know how this build performs for you. Hit the like button and subscribe for more Division 2 build videos, tricks and tricks. And while you are at it, check out my other Division 2 content in the top left hand corner. Bye.